Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Mist. Oh, I mean, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I am Noden, your host, as always. We are on the hunt for a rock. Yes, we are. Well, actually, I guess the rock could be farther forward, right? I guess it's possible somebody, just threw a rock, hit a guy and threw a rock. Alright, so let's do a recap here. Let's figure out what's going on. So, a little boy has written us, worried for the future of his town. We have arrived mysteriously walking along a railroad track. A dilapidated bridge. A dilapidated rail car, which we relocated back to its place of origin. But were met with a gruesome discovery. A pair of severed legs and the body they belonged to, dragged, possibly crawled, a short distance away. The events that have led to these discoveries is yet an unknown, and we're trying to figure that out. So, as I was saying in the last episode, the only piece of, not information, I should say, but the only thing that I think is going on, the only thing that I believe that I figured out that I need to be doing in this game is putting things back in their rightful place. And as that happens, more of the story becomes unlocked. Okay, I haven't been over here before, so I'm just checking it out. I want to see if somebody chucked a rock over this pile of rocks. The fuck was that? It was like a raptor. There's a raptor in the woods. Goodness gracious, there's a killer. Am I gonna die if I go in this wood? It doesn't... I mean, it looks fairly inviting. Na-na-na-na-na. Everything is fine. I'm sure there aren't raptors. Pretty sure anyways. Not so sure. I'm pretty just strange noises. It's okay. It's okay. The woods are always filled with strange noises. If this weren't like a mysterious mystery game, I might not be so scared about random noises in the woods. You'd be like, oh, it's random noises in the woods. I mean, this woods, that's what happens, but just at the moment, I've never been up in this area, so I'm kind of trying to just do some hunting around, some discovery. There's lots of, it says when this game starts that it doesn't hold your hand. Oh, what's this up here? Is this something? No. It looked like it could have been something, but it was not. It really does not. In my second episode, you kind of expect to have a little bit more of an idea of what you're supposed to be doing in a game and where you're supposed to be going. Well, I have an idea where I'm supposed to be going. I think I'm supposed to be following the railroad tracks into town. But I've got these mysteries that are like on the way to town already. And I've got this huge open world, mostly open world that I can kind of run around in. And just gape at its beauty. Look at this. How amazing does this game look? It's a pine cone. It's a grenade. Is it actually... Did I just find a grenade? Why do I have a grenade? What? Okay. Good random find. Alright, let's just move on. I got sidetracked. I was gonna look for that rock. I did some hunting for it at the end of the last episode. I did not find it. I think I'm okay with just skipping it for now. I understand from reading some of the reviews of this game. I have no idea what happens in the story of this game, but from reading some of the reviews of the game, it seems like this game holds your hand so little until it requires you to do something. And a lot of these things, like probably filling that gap in there, I'll probably have to come back and do that later. But we'll find that out later, I suppose, when we have to fill in the gap. Yeah. Let's check the other side of this train here. Great. Nothing in the train. Anything in here? If I could jump, I would be happier. Excuse me, Mr. Raptor. Do not eat my face. It is pretty. It is awfully pretty. Yeah, it's this overwhelming mist vibe all the time. I love it. I really missed those games. Miss those mist games. Because I don't know, it was so early on in my gaming life, and really in what was capable of in computer games, having a world that was like completely foreign like that, and that felt so open. There was really no such thing as like an open world game, and Myst really, I mean, you could argue wasn't an open world game, but there was nothing that I can think of that had been like that, really. That just made you feel like you were in another place completely, and where you could walk into a room that would have, you know, just a room full of like bloody instruments and things like that, and just send shivers down your spine for no reason, because you don't have a clue about what's going on in the story. I spent a lot of time playing that game. Eventually I found...
No trains have been through here for a long time. That was part of a pattern. Large pieces of this country were thrown away, doomed to become, and then remain, the worst versions of themselves. Beneath all that rot, dark things grow.
Ooh, dark things. What is this thing called? Is that a dike? I don't know what those are called. But anyways, yeah, I like played that game. I went through, released each of the brothers, you know, kind of a thing. Found out that's not the way to beat that game, and then eventually found the actual way to beat the game, that you can actually like beat the original Myst in like 2.5 minutes or something like that. Like, it's no time whatsoever, and you would spend just weeks playing that game, trying to make heads or tails of it, and never find anything. So there's a couple of houses over here, and I've been to these houses before when I did the previous playthrough. So I think I'm just going to head this way just quickly and just see if there's anything that's just going to eat my face. I'm pretty sure there's nothing that eats your face in this game, but I just want to just have a bit more of an explore than I did last time. Just because I know what to kind of expect over there, and it's mind-blowing. And I'm guessing for the most part this is just going to stop. Let's do a little run towards this lookout point. Oh, goodness gracious, how gorgeous is that? Oh, who wouldn't live here? Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like, my guy talks with an American accent. This doesn't look like any part of America that I know. It has a very European feel to it. All the woods do, obviously, like the buildings over there do. Maybe I travel the world doing good. Halkama homoka. World philanthropist, traveling the world doing good. If you get that reference, good on you. I don't know. I'm like, good for you. I'm like, well, it wasn't that great of a movie. But there you go. It's a reference, then it's a movie. The character was played by Tim Curry, I believe. Yes. It's a good movie. Actually, I'd say it's got its moments. It's a movie, it's got its moments. It's not a great movie. It's a fun movie. But I can't say what it is, or it'll ruin the surprise for those of you who don't know what it is. And those of you who do know what it's from will lose your sense of, what is that sense? Your sense of superiority. There you go. Like, doesn't this feel like Germany? Kind of got a German feel to it. Maybe a little bit. I don't know why. The house is like that house there has got sort of an American feel to it. One of those spooky American Tudor houses. But then I guess Tudor is Tudor German originally? Or is it British originally? Or is it just sort of originally around? I don't know. I suppose Tudor was... The name Tudor would be British, but I don't know. But the actual styling of the housing, I don't know. My architecture education is failing me. Frankly, I was never good with stuff with that sort of stuff in it anyways. Like remembering what kind of columns are what kind of columns. Like what are Corinthian columns versus whatever the other columns are. No idea. I have no idea what the difference of any of these things are. Alright. Let us begin tripping ourselves out. There's also a riddle in here that I didn't solve the last time, so we are going to solve it this time properly and fully. Unlike the rock, which is a riddle we didn't, successfully do in either attempts. I'm also getting some frame drops here, so I hope it doesn't show up too much in the recording. But I am looking at a lot of stuff here. Come on, I got a painting in front of me. That's just a moving painting. I remember when I was young, before MMOs, before the internet was really a big thing, my sister and I dreaming about having a world that you could move around in and explore that would be populated with other people, and we sketched out the ideas of what an MMO would be when we were very young. I'm sure we weren't the first people to do it, but kind of before MMOs were a thing, and then we both got lost in World of Warcraft for a long time because of that. Because that was it. That was our first MMO experience and our first real, Jesus Christ, this is what we imagined all those years ago when we thought about it. All right, enough talk. On to the trippy shit. Here we go. Text. I invoke the Boneless One, the one of voids, destroyer of ships, and he who is feared by the winds. Hear me. Great Minister Folklaw, I wish to make a pact with you, to confound my enemies and protect my possessions. Use the doors of confusion to cloud their judgment. Seal the path with falsity and guile, and permit only those who can discern every true interior to pass. Aglon, tetragram, Vakion, stimulamaton, Ezepharas, tetragrammaton, Euler, Ephemerian, Estian, Existian, Arian, Onan, Oresin, Mosm, Massius, Soter, Emmanuel Sabbath, Adonai, te adoro, e te invoco. Amen. Good. Whoa. Trippy. Alright, good. Oh, right. The doors of falsity and guile. So, here we go. Alright, now this is where I have to start talking about foreknowledge. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this well now. See, this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, there's definitely some information that I have here that I need to relay, and I don't know how to do it. Okay. So these, let's do it step by step. Swap. Each one of these portals represents a room. What our goal is, as I understand it, is from the letter, is to get the correct portals in the correct spots. So we can just like pick one and we can go through, and that appears to have been the right one. We can come back through, everything's fine. And we can come over here, and so we got a room with a downstairs. Now this doesn't seem like it would be right, but let's just go through and see what happens. Oh, it seemed to say that it was wrong, and we come back this way, it's the wrong room. So the question is, I mean, there's a couple of ways we could do this. We could go through, and we could just nibble away at it and figure out what it is, or we could use a cheat sheet. Yes, there is a cheat sheet. A handy cheat sheet. Available to us. And that cheat sheet lays right... oh, I can't see it from here. Anyways, this house that we're currently walking through is the interior of a different house than the one that we entered. Does that make any sense? Actually, we're doing okay with this. Oh, that was wrong. Alright, okay, so we're actually done here anyways. Okay, so if we come back into this house here, and we don't touch any of that, we can clearly see that was not the house that we were in. The house that we were just in, that's not this house. This is a small, little, tiny place. It's got 2 floors, they're kind of crickety, but none of the rooms that we saw exist. Well, this could have been one of them. In that house that we were just in. So brings us to the cheat sheet, which is the fact that I know, because I've discovered this previously, that the interiors of this are from the interior of that house. And if I go over here, we can see how the rooms go, and we can then figure out where the rooms are, and we can line them up properly there. And then we can use a combination of that knowledge and our own womanly intuition to get ourselves correctly through that adventure and whatever that tells us. I don't know what that's supposed to tell us. I haven't completed that part. I gave up on it. I spent like a whole episode last time did it. Most of my second episode was spent last time dealing with this puzzle and trying to figure out what was going on. So now that I have the cheat sheet for it, I'm going to fast track ourselves through this. But that fast tracking will have to wait until the next episode. Oh, we got a picture. Some very normal looking people. So what we've discerned is that the landscape artist, very good. The people who do other people, not as nice. Look at how frumpy they all look. Goodness gracious. On the day the photo was taken, Uncle Chad was mean. Dad was dead. Mom was mad. Travis was loud. Gramps was quiet. Good. What about you? How are you doing? Alright guys, I will see you put back. Here we go. Next time. Until then, ciao, I love you. Good night.